You can do this. Deep breath. You can do this. You are calm, blue ocean. Calm, blue ocean. It will definitely be fine. Okay, so it's the worst time and ever to have the Grand Thunder showing up for fish rehearsal, but it'll be fine, right? Fine. Oh, maybe an Irish coffee would be better. Yes, good idea. Oh God, they're arriving in the waiting room.
Hi, Terence. Hi, Betty. I think you're on mute, Terence. You're on mute.
Press the little microphone in the corner of your square. The little...
Oh, bloody arse-diving piece of...
You're on now, Terence. We can hear you.
Oh, good. Is Annabelle on yet?
No, she's running a little late, so she has to meet with the Grand Thunder first.
Ah, balls. I wanted a word with him before it all kicks off.
Can you read my name badge, okay?
Stupidest thing having to wear them in the first place. Worse than being at school.
I know, yes, but apparently it's what the Thunder wants. So anyway, Oh, a few more arriving. Would you mind? I'll just let them in. And could you let everyone know that Annabelle's running late? I've just got to top me up. I mean, a quick coffee before things kick off. I mean, be right back.
Ah, David, Lucy, Olivia, good evening.
Hello.
Evening.
Hi.
I was just saying to Rosalind here, I still hate this online stuff. Hopefully we'll soon be able to meet back at mine and get back to normal.
Oh, and Betty said Annabelle's meeting with the funder first, so she's going to be a little bit late.
Oh, for Christ's sake. I needed a word with Annabelle before this bloody yes man sticks his nose into things.
I wanted a word with her too. She hasn't been replying to my emails.
I've messaged her on Facebook and WhatsApp today, and I haven't heard a thing.
Maybe she's having problems with her phone, maybe.
Don't be stupid, Lucy. She's bloody ignoring us. That's what she's doing.
Oh.
I'm surprised you're not up in arms too, with that absolute disgrace of a cast list.
Oh, good. It's not just me who thinks so, then.
I'm sure it's a simple typographical error. I mean, she's cast me as Aegis, a man of my calibre.
Maybe she thought you'd look mature enough to appear.
James Pry Oberon. James Pry. He could even spell Oberon.
Look, I mean, I agree, Terence, but you can't play Oberon when she's cast Olwyn as Titania. She's old enough to be your old enough to be your daughter.
It's called acting.
I don't think your missus would agree.
Oh, sorry about that. Couldn't open the bottle, milk. Oh, good, a few more people in the waiting room. I'll just let them in. Hello all.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, Caroline.
Good evening.
How are you feeling about the casting? We were just talking about it.
Well, I do think I should have more than a must.
Something has clearly gone wrong. I did message Annabelle about it this morning before I left for work, but she hasn't replied. And she's clearly got mixed up somewhere along the lines. I mean, do I look mannish to you?
I'm sure Annabelle will be happy to discuss your concerns, but just so you know, she's currently on another call with the Grand Thunder, and we do need funding for the group, so if we could just put our concerns to one side.
And have you seen what James Pry's been given?
I know. We were just saying. I mean, he's lovely, James. I know we all love him. But he's hardly what you'd expect to be cast as Oberon, is he?
Well, I just...
Give him a chance, yeah?
Yes, but he's hardly an intellectual, is he?
There's giving people a chance and there's throwing them right in.
Well, what I think
Well,
is
I
that...
mean, it's going to be our first big thing after lockdown. We need to be bringing in the pennies for the company.
Point now, yeah.
Putting him in now, so if you're quite finished.
Hi, James.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, James. We were just talking about the casting list.
Oh, yeah.
Well done on getting Oberon.
Yes, well done and good luck with it. There's a lot of lines to learn for that.
And you get to have George climbing all over you. Good job it's you. I mean, I can see why Annabelle cast someone with some upper body strength.
I saw the Globes production with Puff doing acrobatic tricks. Don't worry, James. Oberon doesn't have to do much. And of course, Annabelle probably will direct it differently. We haven't got assurance for wires. No.
How the hell did Kathleen Green get Helena? I mean, she's another one who wouldn't know a book if it smacked her in the face.
I think that...
He once asked me if the Globe Theatre was a globe. How did people in Australia manage to see the show?
She once asked me if snakes had feathers, and if not, how a feather boa is made.
Not exactly Helena material. She's not tall enough either.
Oh, good, a few more arriving now.
Kathleen, how are you?
Oh, I'm good, thanks, Olivia. And how are you?
I'm lovely, dear. Congratulations on being cast as Helena.
Oh gosh, thanks, and well done on being Hippolyte.
What?
Is that some crack about my weight?
No. Your character.
Hippolyta.
Oh, is that how you say it? There are some funny names in this one, aren't there?
Are the benefits of modern comprehensive education?
You are?
Never mind.
Here come George and Owen.
Hi. Hi, George.
Hello.
Hi, Owen.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, sorry if I'm late. I just had to get the flatmates to give me some peace. Oh, you too, you bitch. Yeah, just wait. Yes, love you. See you later. Enjoy your film.
Hi, how are you all? How are you holding up?
Muddling through. Still teaching online most days.
So difficult. I'm so glad we had this to keep us occupied.
Oh, exactly, darling. Oh, and congratulations on your part. Olwyn, you'll be a fantastic fairy queen.
Oh. Thank you. You really think so?
Oh, you will.
Of course you will, Olwen. You'll be a great Titania.
You might have to use padding though.
What?
Oh, seriously, come on. Anyone? Titiania?
We're nearly all here now. Good.
Good evening, everyone.
Leslie, lovely to see you as always. I was looking over the cast list and I wondered if you wanted to have like a rummage in my lockup.
Oh my God.
What?
Costumes, love. I've got some in storage from previous shows and we might have to let them out a bit, but I'm sure that we can find something you'll like.
Oh, I see, of course. Well, I won't be making any plans just yet. I was going to have a word about the casting with Annabelle. I'm sure she didn't mean to give me Hermia. Probably just a mix-up.
I don't know. Might suit you.
Oh, I'm sure, Wesley.
I quite agree, Wesley. A few of us have been trying to get hold of her today, but she doesn't seem to have answered anyone.
Yes, I've messaged her a couple of times on WhatsApp, but no reply. Where is she?
She's meeting with that grant funder before joining us.
Oh.
So there'll be no chance to speak to her before he's nosing around. But I agree, Wesley. This needs to be sorted quickly. So why don't you and I just sort it between us?
I don't think
Annabelle would mind at all. Just writing a silly typographical mistake. Just swap with me.
Now, come on.
Swap?
Part, of course. I'll take your Hermia for my Moth.
You'll take?
You can keep Snout, of course, but Moth is just a furry attendant. It doesn't matter whether it's played by a boy or not.
Oh, come on, Olivia. That doesn't make sense.
What do you mean? It makes perfect sense. Come on, Wesley.
He should better swap with me. I have only Muncie and you, Olivia, already Hippolyta have.
Not a chance. I'm not swapping with either of you.
You can't mean to play the female lead, Wesley. It's ridiculous.
Annabelle hasn't cast Demetrius yet. She obviously meant to cast me as Demetrius and wrote Hermia by mistake. She clearly means for me to have the leading role.
You, as Demetrius?
It's the only possible explanation.
I have to kiss Demetrius, don't I?
Oh, God.
Well, if you stick as Hermia, Wesley, you'll have to kiss Honor.
Well, it's a bloody good job I won't. I told you, it's clearly a mistake.
I am not kissing him.
Well, you won't have to.
If you're going to play a girl, you better shave that stupid beard off first.
I will if you shave yours.
And backs down, ladies.
I don't...
I need popcorn for this.
Can you not encourage them? Look, Annabelle won't have people swapping parts willy-nilly. What now?
You said.
Never mind.
Oh, shut up, Betty.
You can't tell us what to do, Betty. Just get back to your notes.
Annabelle has asked me to...
Yeah. Let people in, not boss them around.
I'm just trying to keep everything polite and calm.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Because the Grand Funder will be on and we do exactly need the money to be able to put on the show. Otherwise, the Brookfield Dramatic Society will have something to put on after lockdown and we won't.
Have you seen their Facebook page? Pathetic.
Yeah, that children's reading hour for the local schools. They might as well have been busking at the beach. All that gurning for the camera.
I was wondering...
I don't even think they got paid for it.
No, they did it for free.
Oh, what they're rehearsing? I mean, just so we definitely know they aren't stealing our ideas.
I think I heard something about Macbeth.
Scottish play, Lucy. Don't call it by its name. Typical.
What do you mean?
Well, it's the shortest one, isn't it? Laziness, that's what it is. The dream done well is a work of art, but it requires a good deal more character work, and I don't suppose their luck will be up to it.
Can I also request we don't mention the Brookfield Amdrams when Annabelle gets here with the funder? We don't want to muddy the waters, and of course we don't know if they have applied for funding.
Bloody cheap, that is. They must be rolling in it as it is. They've got half the town in their back pockets.
Well, be that as it may.
What time?
Who were we waiting for?
No one. I mean, there's only Annabelle and Rasheen. And Rasheen must have been meeting with Mr. Shafton.
Mr. who?
Shafton. That's the grant funder. Simon Shafton.
Oh dear.
What?
Rosalind, dear,
Well,
I think you're going to have to mute yourself. I just mean, we do know the funding is important to all of us, so maybe if we start to feel a little bit giddy, we'll all promise just to mute ourselves and not get the giggles.
Oh my God. I'll try. Oh God. What a name.
Okay. They're in the waiting room. So, has everyone got their name badges on?
Oh, I forgot mine.
Go and make a quick one now, please.
Okay.
Okay, look guys, I know you're not all happy with the casting, but just for this one rehearsal, please, please just act like professionals. Oh my Grace Spider, Mary and all the saints.
What?
What?
Okay, keep calm, but Valentine night is in the waiting room with them.
Valentine night? From the Netflix show, the one with all the Ponzi skirts.
It'll be a troll, Kathleen. Don't let him in.
Probably a spy from the Bridgefield Amdrams. Definitely don't let him in.
Hang on, I'm messaging Annabelle before I let them in to check. She said it's not a wind-up.
It's not a wind-up.
What's him to come in our meeting for?
Who is he anyway? Well, he's the...
Oh my God, James, do you live under a rock? He's only like one of the most famous up-and-coming actors in the country.
He's with the funding committee, you know, like a sponsor.
Putting out new talent for the next series of the Marchmont Dukedom.
I don't think they send the actors out to do that.
Well, you never know.
Betty, have I got time to put some lippy on? I need to look my best.
We definitely don't have time for plastic surgery.
Oh, suck it, goth boy.
Guys, we don't have time.
Okay, everyone, just deep breaths. We're all excited, we're all nervous. Let's just get through this.
Right. They're all there. Annabelle, Simon, Roisin and Mr. Knight. Everyone, like we are normal people for one night, please. Okay, I'm letting them in.
Yes, thank you for sending over the details of your accounts and the group's paperwork. I do apologise that Harry here missed them in my inbox first time round.
Yes, I am sorry. I simply didn't connect the email address with you.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I should have looked at which email I was using to send it. Did it come from Anna at thecozycakebakery.com?
No, it seems groovy Avalonian69 at moondowsers.co.uk.
Ah, yes, I remember now. I was sending them through just before the equinox. An easy mistake to make.
Yes, well, I see that your funding bid is to cover several key items, including rehearsal space, costume and design, and set design, and of course the venue hire for the performance. All reasonably straightforward, I think. But may I ask where you rehearsed previously?
Well, one of my cast, dear Terence, has previously been kind enough to allow us the use of his extension, which of course has been marvellous. But the group has grown quite a bit, and it is rather snug for a production of this size. We have had the teensy few problems with parking, noise complaints, etc., being in a residential area. Additionally, of course, we feel that somewhere that can be properly ventilated and assessed for any further post-lockdown restrictions would be better.
Quite.
And Roisin has been an absolute darling to come through with several reasonably priced venues in the community, which are much more accessible.
No trouble at all. No trouble at all. I only wish that the vicar at St. Ethel's had been more willing to listen.
Sadly, dear Mr. Lloyd has an extremely limited view of the arts, so very stead and drab. It must be for the best. The aura of that hole would likely have been stifling to the creative process.
Always found it freezing myself when we take the infants over for school plays and the like. Anyway, Mr. Shafton, as you can see, we have plenty of local options. The grant would be a great help in covering the costs.
Certainly. Certainly your notes are very meticulous on this, and I can see no real issue with the venue hire, lighting, etc.
It's an auspicious year to perform the dream, you know. The solstice this year promises to have strong, energizing influence on the ley lines in this area.
The ley lines?
What were you saying about the rest of the requests, Mr. Shafton?
With regards to costumes,
Oh, the estimates are as fair as we can get them at this time. But of course, it will depend on how the rehearsals progress and what the cast are able to provide. We want to add a real shine of professionalism to the production.
Of course, the surprise edition of Mr. Knight will help with that.
I notice that you didn't put any payment down for Mr. Knight's services here. As he's a professional actor, isn't this something you should be considering?
Oh no! Dear Val here is offering his services totally free. He sees the importance of community theatre to the well-being of the area, don't you?
Are you on mute, Mr. Knight?
Oh, sorry, just on my Instagram. Yes, I wouldn't expect payment at all. I'm delighted to be on board with the production. Giving back to the community, you know.
And your other commitments?
Oh, totally not a problem. I said as much to Annabelle. I'm committed to you know, doing something good for the area, being a part of something. My agent is completely behind me on this. It's good to go back and give back to where you come from, you know?
And we are so marvellously pleased to have you, Val. I know the cast are going to be delighted to learn from your expertise.
I wouldn't be so sure. I mean, yes, certainly, yes.
And your overall vision for the production, period?
Oh, not quite.
Modern dress?
No, oh, I wouldn't have asked for funding for costumes then. No, I want the actors to really get to grips with the fairy tale element of the text. Valentine and I discussed it the other day, didn't we? The mythology that the bard draws upon adds a gossamer shine, not just into the presence of the fairies, but also between the wildness of nature and the grey shadows of conventionality.
Just write avant-garde fantasy, Harry. I've got the gist. Now, as you know, there are many community theatre groups in the area, and of course the committee doesn't just hand out public money here, there and everywhere.
Oh, I'll say.
Oh, of course, Simon, we would be terribly grateful.
I can see no major objections in this case, but as it is the Brookfield Players' first large production, we will have one or two stipulations, I'm afraid. Firstly, that you must provide regular receipts and updated evidence as to the allocation of the funds.
Not a problem, Mr. Shafton.
And secondly, we will, as mentioned, be keen to observe the rehearsal process. Shall we join the rest of the cast now?
Oh, of course, although, as I mentioned, we really have barely begun the rehearsal process just yet, so things may be rather more discussion-based tonight than a usual rehearsal would be.
But they know that we're coming.
Oh, yes, of course.
Well, I need to see what I make of them anyway. I am keen to see at least some of the main rehearsal, I guess.
Not a problem at all. Annabelle just meant that things can hardly be expected to be polished just yet, as the play has barely been cast a week.
Which is why Harry here will be joining you to observe all of the rehearsals.
What?
Me?
I beg your pardon?
Yes. Regrettably, I will not be able to attend as regularly as one might like. I'm sure you understand it's a busy job, particularly in these times when so many arts groups are seeking grants to continue their work.
Yes,
So Harry here can attend all of your sessions and then provide me with regular updates and feedback.
But, sir, I mean, there's really
no need to thank me, Harry. I know getting a bit more hands-on with the demographic will help you enormously as well.
Flutes!
Pardon?
Well, it would be awfully dull for your Harry to observe us each rehearsal, I'm sure. How would you like to play flute, Mr. Glossop?
Me?
An excellent idea. Give you a real insight into the production at ground level and out of my hair for a few hours a week.
I did hear that, sir.
Good, good. Thank you, Annabelle. He'll be an excellent Francis Flute, I'm sure. I'm looking forward to hearing back from you in a fortnight or so. Let me know how things are getting on.
Lovely.
Keep me alive.
And I must say, it'll put the cast more at ease. Do forgive them if they are a bit, well, they're all rather nervous at being observed tonight. This will cheer them up marvellously.
Right.
Excellent. We'll leave this meeting then and see you all in a few moments in the main meeting room.
Certainly. See you shortly.
Oh, right. Time for my entrance.
It's certainly going to be some entrance.
Sir, you really can't mean for me to join these oddballs.
Harry, it makes perfect sense. It's their first production on this scale. They will need regular monitoring to ensure the funding is being spent to the letter of their requests. And you, if you will forgive me, could do with understanding a little more about the kind of people who make up the world of community arts. Just think of it as a learning experience.
But I can't act.
Neither can half of the people in any community theatre. Doesn't stop them trying. You might even enjoy yourself, Harry.
I don't even know them, though.
They're only a community theatre group, Harry. In my experience, I can assure you they don't bite.
Oh, very well then.
They'll swallow you whole.
I'm letting them in now.
Hi.
Oh, hello, Mr. Knight.
Valentine, no! God! Oh, God! I mean, I could stand like forever!
Kathleen, can we show a modicum of decorum, please?
Why is she always like this?
That's okay. I'm always pleased to meet a fan.
I'm so excited! I love you!
I expect you're used to it, aren't you, Mr. Knight?
Oh, well, I wouldn't say that exactly.
Well, when you're famous, I expect it comes with the territory.
I'm just delighted to meet all of you.
Oh, and us too. I mean, lovely to meet you, Mr. Knight.
Oh, please, call me Val.
Oh, Val!
Oh, thank you, Val.
Annabelle, there's someone else in the waiting room.
Oh, that'll be dear young Harry. Let him in, please, Betty. Thank you so much to everyone for your patience. Now, Simon, let me introduce you to everyone.
Oh, hello, I'm David. And
No need. Everyone's wearing their badges.
Oh, yes. Thank you all for that. I know it will help marvellously.
Annabelle, about the casting.
This is not the time, Olivia.
Quite right. I'm happy to chat shortly, Olivia, but first...
Have you had phone problems? I sent you some messages.
Oh, look, Harry's in now. Marvellous. We're all here.
Now, may I introduce Mr. Shafton?
With respect, can we please just get on with this meeting? I've been on Zoom all day with funding meetings, and I really need to eat at some stage. I'm starving.
Oh, get her.
Shh. It's not my favourite part of the job, this, but necessary to understand where the trust money is being allocated and to what type of people.
What type of people?
Well, yes, it's a serious amount of money. It's my job to ensure that it is allocated to deserving.
What counts as the right type of people?
Honor.
I'm not being funny, but a measly 10,000 shouldn't necessitate the Spanish Inquisition, should it?
Honor, it really isn't about that, really. No one is inquisiting anyone.
Interrogating, you mean?
Yes. All right, Honor. Can we leave that, please, and let's move on?
Can I just ask?
Quite. Well, everyone, I've spoken at length to your director here, and I am more than happy that she has brought a well-known name into the production to ensure ticket sales. That the lead of a play like this should be a famous person.
What?
You are?
I beg your pardon?
Really? This is too much.
Oh, I get it now. Mr. Knight is gonna be...
Everyone, now listen. I was about to let you all know this, but Simon seems to have picked me to the post. I hope he hasn't spoiled the surprise too much, but yes, Val here has very kindly offered to grace our little family with his talents and expertise. Isn't it marvellous?
Well, I think that...
Oh my God!
Well, I, for one, will be delighted to admire Valentine's bottom. And not for the first time, either.
I'll be faulting.
You clearly haven't watched the show he's in.
Bottom. Do you get it? Bottom.
Oh, shut up, Rosalind.
Well, I think you'll find...
It's David's bottom you'll be admiring, remember?
Oh, yeah, well, I'm sure you'll be a perfectly serviceable bottom, David.
Bottom.
So Mr. Knight is playing Demetrius.
He will indeed be taking the marvellous role of Demetrius.
Is that such a good idea?
Owen, please.
Oh, no offence meant. I just mean, well, doesn't Demetrius have to, you know, romance Helena?
Helena's me! I mean, I'm Helena. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Yeah, and Hermia. Don't forget Hermia, Wesley.
I think we can have this discussion later.
Quite right. Please continue, Mr. Shafton.
Okay, well, Annabelle has somewhat satisfied me as to where the money is going, but I do think your contingency should pay something toward a fee for Mr. Knight here. After all, he is a professional and... You know...
What? You have got to be kidding. In an amateur group, no one gets paid.
Valentine has already agreed to appear pro bono, as it were.
Oh no. Sounds like a dog treat.
Yeah, there are no dogs here, thank you, dear. Although there are a few howlers.
I'm just going to refill my glass. I mean, my mug.
I wouldn't dream of wanting payment at all. It's the condition of my being. I mean, I would have it no other way, Simon, really.
Oh, that's so generous of you, Val.
Really, it is my pleasure.
We have some bratwurst simmering for our meal. I will be back in a moment. These English, they really know how to drag things out.
Caroline, you forgot to mute. Sorry about this, Mr. Shafton.
Modern technology, eh? Terence Boyle, Aegis and the deduction. Mr. Shafton, may I ask who the quiet gentleman who came in with you is?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is my assistant, Harry Glossop. He will be overseeing things for me after this initial meeting. In fact, you'll be seeing so much of him, he's a part of the cast.
Oh, really? This is too much? How many more strangers are we going to have join us?
Well, I think
that... Not another one.
Yes, my dears, it would have been too boring for poor Harry here to just sit in a corner watching us every rehearsal, wouldn't it? He has kindly agreed to be our very own Francis Flute. I know you'll give him a marvellously warm welcome.
For myself a refill.
Look, can we please just get on with the business at hand? I want to do some rehearsing tonight. We all need it.
Speak for yourself, dear. My book has graced the stage of the Alhambra and Market Deep, and you know, not brag.
Was that where you went on your gap year?
No, dear, that was Peru.
Oh.
What is this?
Didn't Paddington Bear come from deep in Peru?
What is this? Bears? Are we casting bears?
Now, come on, everyone. Please focus for a tiny moment, please.
Okay, moving on. Now, everyone, I need to know that you are all on board with the concept of this production and are committed to the group. As you know, our trust needs to see results. Of course, this is a grant and the money doesn't need to be paid back. Unless, of course, the funds are misappropriated or seen to be spent inappropriately and outside the terms of the grant.
And what exactly does that mean?
I need to know that as a company secretary, Mr. Shafton.
In brief, as I have already discussed with your director, who, with respect, fills me with more confidence than some others in this group.
Oh, charming, I must say.
There's no need for that.
Quite right. You should know there are many accomplished members of this group.
I beg your pardon?
Well, I don't mean to blow my own trumpet, but I personally have a tremendous list of acting credits to my name, and I could go on.
Yeah, 3rd place in the Nobblingese contest at Haven Holidays, 3 years running.
That is not my point, but...
Please, Simon, let the lady speak.
Oh, for goodness sake, can we get this funding meeting over with? It's taking as long as it took the bard to write this play.
Sorry, Mr. Shafton, do go on.
You, as company, have to prove outcomes, okay? It's really as simple as that. So you will keep appraisal notes throughout the rehearsals and subsequent production process, and we need to know how many people engaged in the project.
This many.
What?
Well, just count on them little screens there.
No, we mean audiences too, and costume people, lighting people. They are your outcome totals, and then we need you to prove sustainability.
Prove?
My head hurts. What does it all mean?
Well, it means that any ticket sale profits have to be ploughed back into the group and used for future productions.
Quite. To avoid you coming asking for further grants, because we tend to only fund groups for once to help get them off the ground. The rest, then, I'm afraid, is up to you. Also, and this is more important, if you decide to alter in any way what any of the grant is spent on, then you need my permission first.
Well, what do you...
For example, you have £2,000 here earmarked for costumes, okay? And it must be adhered to and not eaten into the rental funds, for example.
Well, rental funds aren't a problem, are they, Annabelle?
Well, can we discuss this a bit later, Terence?
As soon as the pandemic's over, we shall be back in my extension.
Oh, here we go again.
Is it still freezing in there?
Now, you don't have to worry about that right now. Let's just...
Oh, for goodness sake. Look here, Mr. Shafton. In my line of work, really, £10,000 is a drop in the ocean. This is ridiculous. And I suppose that Babyface over there is going to make sure we don't move a penny across.
Harry will be observing and providing me with reports, of course, yes.
Please, Honor, can you just be grateful that they are providing us with the money to do this? Without the grant, we couldn't afford this production at this time. Do you know nothing about community honour, crapper?
How dare you! It's Creeper!
Yeah, and the riot is not only silent, it doesn't exist, much like her talent.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, you like George?
Well, I don't...
We will, of course, make Harry very welcome, won't we? He's been a marvellous good sport, and it will be his very first acting role.
Yes, I will probably need someone to show me the ropes.
Oh, honey, anything that you want, you just click your fingers and I'll come flying to your side like the sprightly sprite that I become when I don me tights.
Thanks.
I don't know if there is anything more I need to add here, except Valentine is being very quiet. Are you sure you really want to get involved with this?
Oh, yes. Nowhere I'd rather be.
What are you saying?
Yes, what does that mean?
Oh, nothing. I shall leave you in the capable hands of Harry here. He will report back to me. Good evening, all.
Thank you, Simon. That was
I think he's gone, Annabelle.
Oh, really?
I thought he wanted to see some of the rehearsal.
He was rather abrupt. But Harry's still on, isn't he? Aren't you?
Yes. Hi.
Well, I thought that was very rude of Mr. Shafton to disappear like that.
Not very professional.
He, I assure you, he did fully intend to watch some of the rehearsal, but he did only plan to stay for the first half hour.
Well, enough of that, everyone. Shall we begin?
Before we start, Annabelle, I wanted to tell you a few of us have had some concerns about the cast list.
Oh?
You can't seriously mean for Wesley to play Hermia?
Actually, I also have...
I should have more than a mustard seed.
Oh, Caroline, I did think you would be a marvellous mustard seed.
But it is so small.
Mustard have seeds.
You see, Caroline, whilst the fairy attendants are small in stature, they play a key part in the vision of the play. The vision for the performance will begin with a magical tableau from the fairy attendants. And with your delicate touch and artistic vision, I really wish for you to take the lead on that and bring your marvellous knowledge of the arts to the table to choreograph the fairies' performances.
Well,
I understand you might be a little nervous, but I do so like to give you all roles that will really challenge you. You will give it a try, won't you? If you feel you're not competent, then...
I did not say that. I will bring my substantial experience of Shakespeare to choreography.
Marvellous.
Oh, well, Annabelle, were you a politician in a past life?
Oh, no, never. I was Ceridwen.
Do you mean Ceridwen?
Or one of her followers. The mysteries of time are hazy, you know.
Rubbish.
I assure you, I spent an enlightening week of retreat at a regression centre in Glastonbury.
Cultural appropriation is what it is.
Now, Honor.
What scene should we rehearse first, Annabelle? What scene? What scene should we rehearse first, Annabelle?
Well, that
Just a minute. That cast list. I mean, look here. You have Wesley as Hermia.
Yes.
But it's a female lead.
You're just jealous.
Now.
You can't expect Valentine to play opposite Helena with a beard.
Betty, can you mute them all for a moment?
Now, if I could just have your attention for one moment, then I will be able to tell you all about this and explain everything.
Annabelle, no one is questioning your vision, but do you really mean for me to play Aegeus? Surely James and I should swap.
What?
Hey, that's not fair.
Annabelle, I'm not...
Can we be reasonable?
Silence!
Thank you, Lucy.
No problem, Annabelle.
Now, I am very sorry, Val, Harry. As you can see, everyone is very keen and excited, which does make for some spirited debate. Well, I totally get that some of you are surprised by the casting decisions made. The production is going to be something special, and much of that will be made clear in the coming weeks. Midsummer Night's Dream is about the way the magic of the wild, the wilderness, the forces abroad at solstice turn the world and preconceived notions of love and identity on its head. I assure you, every choice I have made has been done with the utmost care. We have a great and groundbreaking acting group here, and sometimes that means playing parts that are out of your comfort zone, but that is part of the process of acting. The ability to subsume yourself wholly into a character who may be bizarre or strange or communicate more by body language than speech, like the fairies, is part of being able to bring something new and fresh to the table. Something that makes the audience think about things in a new way. You know what I mean, don't you, Val? I mean...
Oh, exactly, Annabelle. I couldn't have put it better myself, really.
How do you get into character for the Marchmont dukedom?
OMG, the bit when she tells you she's marrying Lord Reginald instead, that is so amazing. And then you sweep her off your feet like that.
No spoilers, please. I haven't caught up on it all yet.
You busy rewatching episode 8, Rosaline?
Oh my God, George.
Hey, it's worth rewinding a few times, you know, if you like your men shirtless and sexy.
So sorry, Valentine. We don't mean to make you uncomfortable at all.
Don't worry, it's fine. I get far worse on Twitter.
Yeah, hashtag Val's Vavavoom and hashtag Marchmont Booty exploded after that episode.
What scene should we start with, Annabelle?
Let's try a bit of Act 1, Scene 1, shall we?
I haven't got a script.
I posted the link on the rehearsal page when the cast list came out.
I can't find it.
I've put a link in the chat box.
What chat box?
I'll email it to you, Kathleen.
Well, you aren't in this first bit, Kathleen. So while you're getting sorted, can everyone who isn't in the scene just be quiet and let's hear it?
Oh, now?
Yes. Now, James. Let's get it over with.
Now, fair Hippolyta.
Hang on.
Bloody hell.
What's the matter, Olivia? Have you lost your place?
Are you telling me that James and I are shagging in this?
What? I don't get it.
This nuptial hour?
Oh my God.
It's called acting, Olivia.
They are getting married, Olivia.
Oh, I don't have to kiss him, do I?
Get on, please. We're wasting time.
Go on, James.
Now, fair Hippolyta, our nuptial hour draws on apace 4 happy days, bringing another moon. But oh, methinks how slow this old moon wanes. She lingers my desires, like to a step dame or a dowager, long withering out a young man's revenue.
Wow. James?
What?
Delivered marvellously, James. Now, Olivia, that was your cue.
Oh, 4 days will quickly steep themselves in night. 4 nights will quickly dream away the time. And then the moon, like to a silver bow, new bent in heaven, shall behold the night of our sodomites.
Go, Philostrate, stir up the Athenian youth to merriments, awake the pert and nimble spirit of mirth, turn melancholy forth to funerals. The pale companion is not for our pomp. Hippolyta, I wooed thee with my sword, and won thy love doing thee injuries, but I will wed thee in another key, with pomp, with triumph, and with revelling.
Beautiful, James.
Enter Aegis, Hermia, Lysander, and Demetrius. I said, enter Aegis, Hermia, Lysander, and Demetrius.
Happy be Theseus, our rehomed Duke.
Renowned.
Yes, our renowned Duke.
Thanks, goody Egius, what's the news with thee?
Full of vibration come I.
Didn't know you were into that, Terence.
With complaint again my child, my daughter, Hermia, span forth Demetrius. My noble lord, this man hath my consent to marry her. Stand forth, Lysander, and my gracious duke, this man hath bewitched the bosom of my child.
Wesley's bosom.
What's your cup size, Wesley?
Same as yours.
Don't worry, Wesley. You can do wonders with a bit of makeup and some strategic stuff in.
That was marvellous, James. Well done.
Oh, yeah, well, aye.
First
Yeah.
time reading it.
Well, no, I looked at it this week, you know. Read a bit on my phone while I was at work, like.
It was fab, James.
Right, all right. Can we get on with the scene?
Yes, of course. Do continue, Terence.
Thou, Lysander, thou hast given her rims.
My.
George, stop it. On the side.
And intercharted love tokens with my child, thou hast by moonlight at her window sung with feeling voice verses of feeling love, and stolen the impression of her fantasy with bracelets of thy hair.
Hairy bracelets. Ugh.
Rings, gauds, conceits, knacks, trifles, nosegays, sweetmeats, messengers. Sorry, the screen. It's got all blurry.
Shouldn't you put your reading glasses on?
There's nothing wrong with my eyes, all these glasses. It's the screen.
Perhaps it won't be so blurry if you enlarge the text.
Look, I just need to print it out. In the meantime, and take the computer back to the shop. They clearly haven't fixed it properly. I only got it back last week.
I think you do.
Oh,
probably.
give it up, Terence, and buy yourself some reading glasses.
My eyes are fine.
Right. Well, thank you, Terence. That was a good first read, but a tiny few mispronunciations.
I just need to print it out.
Font size 50?
That's fine. If you print it out for next week, that would help marvellously. In the meantime, shall we skip forward a bit?
My cousin has a print shop that's not far from you, Terence. Do you want me to send you his details?
Really? How interesting.
I thought non-essential shops were shut at the moment.
Oh yes, but if you send it to him, he can post it out to you.
I can print it for you, Terence.
Owen's cousin could probably do with the business.
No, really. I've got a big printer at home, and it's for the worksheets, and we've been delivering it out to the children.
But Owen's cousin.
That's very kind of you, Lucy. Thank you. Thanks anyway, Owen.
Let's skip to the next scene for now, should we? Scene 2, Quincy's house.
Oh, rightio. Is all our company here?
You were best.
Hang on.
What?
Who's starveling?
Has anyone got the cast list up?
I thought what's his face was starveling.
Betty, have you got the cast list up?
Somewhere, yes.
Oh, never mind. We haven't cast Starveling yet.
Oh, of course. I remember now. The auguries were inauspicious by the time I got to Starveling. Olwyn, could you read in for now?
Shouldn't I play Starveling?
No, they're in the same scenes later.
We've had enough of listening to the script being murdered tonight.
Olwyn, just read in for now, please. Off you go, David.
You were best.
Sorry, I've got to get this. I'll mute.
Oh, of course.
Oh.
Carry on, David.
You were best.
Oh, yes. I'll be in tomorrow. Well, the usual arrangement is that the family can come for a viewing at the Chapel of Rest when everything... Yeah, hang on. Let me get the details down.
Can he hear us?
Don't know.
Betty, can you mute him?
And they want to play. Oh, yeah, you can play whatever music you like. Well, that depends on if the church agrees.
It's not working, Raisin.
I'm not sure they do LPs, but if you could put it on an MP3, it's a file you put on a memory stick.
Have you given the permission to Roisin or Annabelle?
Can someone text Wesley and tell him?
Maybe we could get his attention.
Or a CD should work. Most places do, yeah. I'll take your number here and I'll, when I get back to the office, I'll call you tomorrow.
We'll just
Not a
have to be
problem.
very quiet.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sure she was. I'm sure she did. Her favorite band, Yes. And makeup was blue eyeshadow, yeah, and lipstick. If you've got a specific brand, you can just drop it off whenever. Yeah, we will. Okay, you too. Have a good evening. Bye-bye. Bye.
Hot date with some blue eyeshadow in the morning, Wes.
I can't hear you. Where are we up to?
You weren't on mute, Wesley.
Hang on, I can't hear anyone.
Is it always like this?
Oh no.
Ah,
Usually it's worse.
Oh, I can hear you now. I'd muted my computer instead of the call.
We know. We could all hear you.
Well, that was an accident. Let's get on.
actually, Annabelle, would you mind if I just listened this week? I haven't read the script.
Oh, no problem at all, Harry. Let's skip this scene for now and go to... Oh, bear with me a moment while I find the scene.
Roisin, if we're being funded for costumes, then does this mean that we can get them made bespoke?
But it depends what the budget will stretch to, George. But I thought you could sew.
Oh, no. I get mine all sent off to this little place in town.
Even the sequined ones that you had at New Year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I provided the fabric, of course.
Where in town is this? I bet that raised a few eyebrows.
Oh, it's this lovely little old lady who does them.
I'm surprised you haven't given her a heart attack by now. What about the leotard you wore for Death of a Salesman?
Well, I could hardly wear something off the rack for that, could I?
Leotard?
Well, what shop is it then? If it can make you look good in turquoise, it can clearly work wonders.
Claws away, dear. Jealousy adds £10 and you hardly need any more of it.
I was just saying that I could have some altered as well, especially if we're going to be fairies.
Yeah, I must get into trim before the show. This lockdown on my waistline, it plays havoc.
Even I've put on a pound or two with lockdown. It's all the stress. We'll run off our feet in the surgery.
Yes, ignoring telephone calls must really take it out of you.
Oh well, tennis season starts soon.
Oh, I didn't know that worked.
What?
Do you really lose weight watching Wimbledon?
How on earth do they let you out the house?
I play tennis, Kathleen. I look very good in tennis white, you know that.
Listen, while Annabelle is looking for the scene, Valentine, I wonder if you had any acting tips to show us.
Oh, what? Sorry. Olivia was just texting me. I'll be right with you.
Oh my God, when did Olivia give you a number?
Oh, no, not. I mean, Olivia Coleman.
Oh my God, Olivia Coleman.
Yeah. I'm just telling her what we're up to. She says it sounds great.
Do you think she might come and see the play? Because you're in it.
Well, I don't know. Maybe. Hey, I'll see if we can get a group together. James might be up for it. McAvoy, I mean, if he's free.
James McAvoy.
Who?
Of course, it is early days yet, but I'll be sure to warn them. I tell them that they're in for a real experience.
The muse has just alighted upon me.
The what? I thought you were eating a cake.
What?
The muse, not muesli, Kathleen. Now, what I would like us to do is, rather than dive into another scene just at this moment, is to conduct some exercises to help you connect with your characters.
Oh, no.
Those of you who have been in the group for some time will already be familiar with this part of the process. But for our guests, I invite you to take part, and I will guide you simply through a few grounding steps.
Oh, I'm game.
Marvellous. Now, first, everyone, I want you all to take deep, calming breaths in. Close your eyes if you would like, but focus. Focus on your characters, on the sense of your character, whether they live in the castle or have ventured out into the wilderness. I want you to envisage the technicolor world of the forest. How does your character react? How do they move?
I'm going for the piss.
Can you see what your character is wearing? Finely shod or not? And 1, 2, 3, coming back to ourselves, 4, 5, slowly opening our eyes, stretching out our arms, 6, 7, give out a rumbling roar from your voices. And here we are. Now, who would like to read a portion of their character's speech first?
Oh, I will.
I'm happy to.
I could.
Actually, Annabelle.
Lucy, you go first, please.
Lucy didn't volunteer, Annabelle. I'd be happy to go first.
No, it's fine.
I really think you know everyone would benefit from hearing Titania's speech first.
I would love to hear Tania's speech.
You'll get your turn, Olwen.
I just mean it might give a better impression to start off with someone who really knows Shakespeare.
I also know Shakespeare.
Perhaps on a primary school level.
Enough, please. Lucy first, and then you, Olwen.
Thank you.
Now, if you could perform the song the fairies sing with Titania, don't sing it just yet. Just perform it.
I'm back.
Right. Okay. You spotted snakes with double tongue in the cauldron, boil and bake. Eye of newt, toe of frog.
Hold on.
What?
What was that?
The fairy song.
It was not.
Oh, wasn't it?
Eye of newt and toe of frog is from the wrong play.
Wrong play? Wrong play? What do you mean?
Who have you been hanging around with?
What's everyone on about? What's the play?
Oh, our dear Lucy here just started quoting from Macbeth.
The Scottish play. Please.
So?
Why have you been learning Macbeth, Lucy?
The Scottish play.
Oh, which you...
Oh, the year sixes have been sending me bits and pieces, and I was reading it, one of them the other day. It's an easy mistake to make.
Or maybe you've been auditioning for the Brookfield Amdrams on the side.
Is this true? How could you, Lucy?
Oh, Lucy, really? Don't be ridiculous. Of course I haven't been auditioning for the Amdrams.
Just as well. They wouldn't have you.
Oh, one of them would, wouldn't they?
Wasn't.
Who was the teacher on duty when the Amdrams did their online broadcast to the year fives?
I can't help that, can I? It's my job.
Well, I think that we should...
It was Alexander Snot doing the reading, wasn't it? I hear he's just been cast as Macbeth.
Ah, the Scottish play.
Stop it.
Oh, good job you're only a filthy cobweb in this.
Now.
Absolute disgrace is what it is.
Lucy, do you want to continue the fairy song, please?
Not right now, thanks, Annabelle. I'll look at it for next week.
And if you are having a relationship with someone from the other theatre group, you know, you are quite entitled to. We aren't a cult.
Would have fooled me.
She could be sharing secrets with the enemy.
I mean, we're not actually at war, you know, Terence.
Owen, why don't you give us your Titania then?
Oh, yes, please do.
Oh, oh, fine. But this isn't over, Lucy. Right. Where would you like me to go from, Annabelle?
Perhaps the part before the song, further up the page. I'm afraid Time's winged chariot is drawing tonight's rehearsal to a close soon.
Come, now a roundel and a fairy song, then, for the third part of a minute hence, some to kill cankers in the musgrove buds, some war with the river mice for their leathern wings, to make my small elves coats, and some to keep back the clamorous owl that nightly hoots and wanders at our quaint spirits. Sing me Now Sleep, then to your offices, and let me rest.
That was divine.
Gorgeous. Well done, Olwyn.
Lovely, thank you.
There you go, Lucy. Tell the Brookfield Amdrams to stick that in their pipe and smoke it.
You're just jealous.
Jealous? Of you and Alexander Snot? I'd rather kiss Wesley.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
Oh, shut up, Wesley. The smell of formaldehyde doesn't do it for the girls, you know this.
What are you laughing at then?
Oh, nothing.
Annabelle, for the fairies' costumes.
We don't have time to go into that tonight.
Oh, what a shame. But anyway, Caroline, rest assured our costumes will be a collaborative design effort as soon as everyone has settled into their roles a bit more.
And how do you feel about the sketches that I sent you for Puck, you know, with the glittery tub?
It depends how much it will cost to produce. Among other things, George, remember, we have a set budget to clear with Mr. Shafton.
They'll need improving for decency at any rate. If they're the same ones as you put on the Facebook page.
They'll be decently gorgeous if I'm in them, Terence. You don't have the body for the leotard. Annabelle, have you got a sack big enough to suit Aegeus? I mean, I guess Terence could bring his own walking stick.
David, would you like to give us a bit of one of your speeches before we finish?
Oh, well...
I volunteered, Annabelle.
Oh, yes.
Can I just...
It won't be that hard.
What was that, James?
George's costume. It'd only require one invisible zip up the back.
Look, Roisin...
That's exactly what the lady in the shop said when I asked her.
Annabelle, you need to know that
What on earth would you know about costumes anyway, James?
Well, we could reuse the mermaid fabric that you had for your last Pride outfit, George. Mum's still got a piece of it left, and no one else round here wanted it.
You're saying your mum makes my costumes?
Well, both of us, yeah.
I had no idea.
Annabelle?
Yeah, well,
I think my wife knows your mother, actually, James. Met her when planning our daughter's wedding.
I don't know about that. I just.
Can I just?
Oh, I remember that, Terence. Is that the daughter who plays the flute or the one who's a vet?
Annabelle?
She used to play the flute, yes. She's working in marketing now or something like that. We've been running quizzes on Zoom.
Annabelle?
Oh, how clever. I have to say, I'm glad to get away from the screen most nights. I'll be glad when we're able to get back in school properly.
Annabelle?
Oh, it would be good to meet some of you in the flesh.
We only need to ask, darling.
Annabelle?
That would be marvellous, Harry. As you can see, we are doing our best rehearsing online, but it is not without its challenges.
Understatement of the century.
Annabelle?
I think David wants a word.
Oh, thank you, Valentine.
Should I just give you my best puck now? I'll send you all off with something memorable to comfort you on those cold lockdown nights.
I am.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Would all of you for once just shut the hell up? I can't believe you lot. I'm sick and tired of being talked over, ignored, dismissed, and then belittled by the lot of you. George, it's quite clear that Simon Shafton's little stool pigeon is trying to get into Alwyn's knickers. So there's no point you trying to get into it.
Well, you've got yours in quite the twist.
And you might fare a bit better, George, if you tried having an actual personality instead of acting like a cheap imitation of the last Julian Clary in the shop. Don't even get me started on Rosaline. Your walking can laughter trap there.
There's no need to talk to George like that.
Hey.
Oh, and here's Alwyn pouring milk over troubled water as usual, because she's got nothing better to do with her life than act like everybody's mother. Have you any idea how annoying that is?
It is really annoying.
I mean, he is right there.
And Wesley, be serious. Do you really think you could play Hermia? Or Demetrius? It's a good job you work with dead bodies all day. You bore the living to death.
Annabelle has cast the production.
Oh, badly. We all know that. I don't know why you're trying to use that as a defence now, when you were right there with Olivia and Honor bitching about it before she arrived.
David, I know you're upset, but
You have cast me as two parts who appear on the same page. How did you expect me to be both bottom and snug, paint one half of my face red and the other half green, and jump from side to side to answer myself?
Snug bottom.
Stick up it, I'm not surprised.
David, please. It's all part of the
artistic vision. Yeah. You've got as much artistic vision as a bin liner.
Yes, sir. I know you're eating dinner, but you really need to see this.
So what did you do? Did you just throw names against each person at random? Or wave an incense stick in the air and...
That is rather unfair.
It's not unfair at all. What is unfair is you not only refusing to listen to any of us, but then to bring two people in we don't know to play parts without even consulting us.
Hey! Are you bad-mouthing our Valentine?
Oh, shut up, Kathleen. Don't think we haven't noticed all along you tarting yourself up all evening. It's embarrassing. That's what it is. You look like a kid's Barbie doll, and you got about as much brains as one, which is clear every time you open your mouth.
I don't get it.
Oh, but apparently you could come in here after, what, how many years of acting with as much ability as a piece of IKEA furniture and spout off Shakespeare. You barely understand English most of the time.
But I'm not. I don't know what you mean. I don't mean to do it.
Man up, James, for crying out loud.
Terence!
Oh, that big macho man is all Terence has got going for him, hasn't he? Otherwise, he'd just be a no blowhard who can't act and can't admit he's past his prime.
Past my prime? If you were here, I'd belt you.
What's all the noise about? Are we finished?
And you're about as much use as a chocolate fireguard, Betty Spy.
What's gone into you? Oh, someone's in the waiting room.
No, Betty, don't.
And don't get me started on Roisin.
Oh, no. Do go on, David. What about me?
Always nitpicking everything, telling us what to pay, when to mind our P's and Q's, while pulling a wool over Annabelle's eyes and where our subs are going.
Excuse me? What's going on?
Who the hell let Shafton in?
This is all we need.
We all noticed that you had the full extension on the house last year. And then, oh, surprise, surprise, there's no money for our production. So we have to go out to Simon's shithouse with begging bowls in our hands. Meanwhile, after past and they could come hither eyes at the Brookfield Andrams. I wouldn't flatter yourself, by the way, Lucy. Alexander Snot's already worked his way through half of this cast.
What?
Isn't that right, Olivia? Caroline.
Caroline's married.
Oh, but Alexander Snot likes a bit of schnitzel on the side, doesn't he?
He is making these things up.
Caroline, I am shocked.
I don't know what you're so shocked about, Honor. You're about to adverse a bit on the side, aren't you?
I have never been so insulted.
Oh, really? December 2018. Christmas panto after party.
Oh, God.
Face down on the set the morning after, wearing nothing but Winner Twankie's apron.
Wait a minute. You and Terence.
Oh, God.
Yes, Olivia. Honor and Terence. The same night you and Wesley spent a sickening half an hour locked in the costume store behind the stage.
That's what, you bloody little tit.
The same performance, Alwyn got mysteriously stuck in the toilets at the interval, and the understudy was forced to go out in her place for the second half.
You were my understudy, Olivia. How could you?
Always so jealous of everybody else's parts, aren't you, Olivia? It's like you think you've got the acting skills of Dame Maggie Smith when you've got the personality of Maggie Thatcher.
You vicious little turd.
Annabelle, this, I have to say, is not what I expected.
Oh, who gives a toss what you expected? You've no authority here, Simon Shafton.
Well, I mean, that's...
And as for you...
Yes?
You've... Oh, well, you've been grand, actually. Quite a nice chap. Get out of here while you can, or this place will ruin you.
Well, I'm not sure, but... Actually, I see your point. I'll let my agent know I'll do the CBB story time instead. Goodbye.
How could you? Oh, Valentine, come back!
Oh, fuck off, Kathleen.
See you all next week.